Balogun Oderinle, the warrior who became a sacrifice. Oyo stood at the edge of ruin. The empire, once the heartbeat of the Yoruba, trembled under the weight of uncertainty. Enemies lurked on every side, waiting for a sign of weakness. The gods were silent, the land restless, and the oracle spoke of a debt unpaid, a sacrifice that must be made to keep the kingdom standing. It was not just war that threatened Oyo. It was destiny itself. The elders gathered, the diviners cast their opal, and the gods demanded balance. A great warrior, a man of unmatched valor, must walk the path of the ancestors for Oyo to remain unshaken. There was no debate, no hesitation. The name was already known. Balogun Oderinle. His fate was sealed not on the battlefield, but by the people he bled for. The mighty warrior, the sword and shield of Oyo, stood before the oracle's decree. A life for a kingdom. He did not beg. He did not resist. He only closed his eyes and let the winds carry his final breath. But before the sacrifice, there was war. Oderinle was not just a warrior. He was Oyo's terror against its enemies. He did not march to battle. He stormed into it like a raging fire, leaving nothing but destruction in his wake. His presence alone was enough to make enemies falter. They whispered his name in fear, knowing that when he raised his sword, death followed. The war that defined him came when the Nupe sought to break Oyo. They came like a swarm, burning villages, taking captives, and defiling the pride of the empire. The Alafin's court was shaken. No general could hold the line. But Oderinle did not wait for orders. He knew what had to be done. He gathered his warriors, men who had fought beside him, men who would die for him. "We do not fight for the king," he told them. "We fight for the land, for the children who sleep tonight without fear, for the gods who watch over us." And with that, they rode into the storm. The battle was a nightmare of blood and screams. The Nupe had numbers, but Oderinle had something greater: strategy, fury, and the spirit of the ancestors. He did not fight like a man. He fought like a god unleashed. His blade found necks, his spear found hearts, and his men followed, tearing through the enemy like a flood. When the dust settled, the Nupe lay in pieces, their warriors crushed, their leaders slain. Oyo was saved, its lands freed, its honor restored. But peace was a fickle thing. The kingdom he had fought for now stood before another battle, one that could not be won with swords. The gods had spoken. A sacrifice was needed to ensure that Oyo would not crumble under the weight of its own glory. Oderinle understood. He did not question fate. He was a warrior, and warriors do not run from their destiny. With his final breath, he did not curse his people. He did not weep. He stood tall, knowing that his name would live beyond his body, knowing that Oyo would endure because of him. He became more than a warrior. He became legend. Even now, his name lingers in the wind, whispered in the hearts of those who remember.